Have you ever picked up your phone for a second and somehow 45 minutes disappeared? That happened to me again today, and it made me want to ask something. I asked an AI a kind of uncomfortable question. If I can't stop scrolling, what is my brain actually trying to regulate? Because I don't think this is just bad self-control. I think it's a signal. So let's see what it says. What is my brain trying to regulate when I can't stop scrolling?
Yeah, that's a really relatable question. When you find yourself endlessly scrolling, your brain is often trying to regulate a few things. One big one is just a craving for a little hit of novelty or stimulation. Basically, it's looking for a quick boost of dopamine, something interesting, something new, something to keep your mind engaged. Another piece is that it can be a way to deal with underlying restlessness, or maybe even some low-T stress or anxiety that you're not fully aware of. So, in a sense, the scrolling is your brain's way of trying to find a bit of comfort or distraction. In short, it's not just about self-control. It's often about your brain signaling that it needs a little something, whether it's a mental break, a mood lift, or just a change of pace.
What does scrolling give you instantly that your real life isn't giving you lately?
That's a really good way to put it. Scrolling often gives you that immediate hit of variety and novelty that maybe your day-to-day life just isn't serving up in the same quick and easy way. It's like a buffet of new content, and every swipe or scroll brings something different. Whether it's a funny video, a piece of news, a social update, or just something visually interesting. In other words, it gives you a quick dose of stimulation and a feeling of instant engagement that might be missing if real life feels a bit repetitive or not as immediately rewarding.
So, if novelty is the buffet, what's the specific hunger underneath it?
Yeah, that's a nice metaphor. If novelty's the buffet, then the hunger underneath it is often a need for some kind of mental refresh or a little emotional shift. Maybe it's a need to break out of boredom or monotony, or to escape a little stress, or even to just feel a spark of curiosity and wonder for a moment. In other words, that hunger is usually your brain looking for a little mental pick-me-up, a sense of novelty as a way to meet that underlying craving for a change in how you feel or a shift in your mood.
I see. So, what would a real mood shift look like that doesn't rely on constant input?
Yeah, absolutely. A real mood shift that doesn't rely on constant input is usually something that kind of lets your mind settle into a different rhythm. So it might be something like stepping outside for a quick walk, or just doing a short breathing exercise, or even just changing up your environment for a minute, like going to a different room or listening to a piece of music that you really love. Those kinds of shifts don't depend on endless novelty. They just give your brain a gentle reset, so you can feel refreshed without needing to keep swiping through new content.
So, there's always like a minimum that has some sort of effect. So, what is your personal minimum effective dose for a mood shift? 30 seconds, 2 minutes, 10 minutes? And what makes it harder to take that small step than to scroll?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think for a lot of people, that minimum effective dose for a mood shift can be surprisingly short, like maybe just 30 seconds of a deep breath or a minute of stepping away from the screen. Some folks might need a couple minutes just to really feel that reset, but it doesn't have to be a huge time commitment. As for why it's harder than just scrolling, well, scrolling is easy and it's right there. It's like a reflex. Taking that small step to pause and do something else, even if it only takes a minute, just feels like it takes a little more intention. But once you do it a couple times, it can become just as easy.
That's interesting. So, if 30 or 60 seconds is enough to shift you, why does your brain still choose the longer loop? Is it chasing certainty of relief rather than the possibility of relief?
Yeah, you've nailed it. It's kind of like the brain is looking for a sure thing. Scrolling or doing something familiar is almost guaranteed to give a little bit of relief because it's so predictable. Even if it's not the best kind of relief, it's certain and it's easy. On the other hand, stepping away for 30 or 60 seconds to do something different is a bit of a gamble for the brain's perspective. It's like, will this actually help? The brain just has to trust that tiny pause will work, and that can feel less certain at first. But once you see that it does work, it gets easier to pick that shorter path next time.
I see. So, what evidence would convince your nervous system that the short path is safe? Like a consistent ritual, tracking wins, or maybe making the reset physically easier than scrolling on the app?
Yeah, exactly. It's like giving your nervous system a set of reassuring signals that the short path is worth taking. So if you do something like a little ritual each time, maybe you close your eyes, take a deep breath, or even jot down a quick note of what you're feeling, it shows your brain that this is a reliable, safe little pattern. And tracking those wins definitely helps. Each time you succeed in calming yourself quickly, your nervous system gets a little more convinced. So yeah, making that reset feel as easy and rewarding as possible is the way to go.
Got it. So, what would make a reset feel safe to your nervous system specifically? Like comfort, control, certainty, and how do you know?
Yeah, that's a great question. Think a reset feels safe to your nervous system when it gives you a sense of predictability or a little bit of control over the outcome. So, for example, if you know exactly what you'll do during that reset, maybe it's something comforting like a short breathing exercise or stepping outside for a minute, and you know it reliably helps, then your nervous system starts to trust that. It becomes a safe pattern. And you'll know it's working when that feeling of tension or uncertainty eases up a bit and you feel a little more settled after doing it.
Okay, if you could replace scrolling with one reliable reset that makes you feel safe and present, what is it? And what's one tiny rule you'll follow when the urge to scroll hits? Describe in detail for me.
Absolutely. Let's paint a picture. Imagine that instead of reaching for your phone to scroll, you have this little ritual you do that's always the same. Maybe it's as simple as stepping away from your screen, walking to a window, and taking 3 slow, deep breaths while you look outside. It's predictable, it's always available, and it gives you a moment of calm. So the tiny rule you might follow is something like this. Whenever you get that urge to scroll, you pause and do this window ritual first. If after that you still want to scroll, you can, but you've given your nervous system a quick and safe reset point. Over time, your brain starts to trust this little routine, and it becomes your go-to instead of the endless scroll.
Okay, guys, so if scrolling is your brain's shortcut, the real question is what's the need underneath it? If you had to guess, what does scrolling regulate for you most? Stress, boredom, loneliness, anxiety, or something else? Comment your answer in one word. And if you want, I'll do a follow-up video with the most common answers and what they usually mean. See ya.